The book is here. The book is here, my friend. I'm so excited to announce that my new book, my first book, Be Seen, Find Your Voice, Build Your Brand, Live Your Dream, is officially available for pre-order. Oh my gosh, such an exciting moment. And I'm so grateful that you are hearing this because it means that you can go pre-order and get some of my really dope bonuses. Now, I love to incentivize people to take action fast because momentum begets momentum. So I want you to go and pre-order. And when you do, head on over to jengottlieb.com/beseen and put in your order information so you can get the bonuses for pre-ordering. The bonuses are amazing. First, immediately you're going to get the recording of me reading the introduction and the first chapter to the book. So you can listen to the intro and the first chapter before anybody else. And it's me reading it, so you're going to get a lot of different little behind-the-scenes nuggets. You'll also get a special invite to my very first Manifestation Masterclass virtual event. Now, this is a 2-hour virtual event that I'm going to do where it's the first time I've ever taught manifestation in that kind of atmosphere where it's a place where you can ask me questions and we're together on Zoom. It's going to be epic. So everybody that pre-orders is going to get an opportunity to join me for that manifestation masterclass. So I can't wait to see you there. I'm so excited for you to get the book in your hands and for you to get those amazing bonuses. So go on over to jengottlieb.com/beseen and order your book wherever you want to order it from, but put that order number into the website so you can get the bonuses. Go do it. I dare you. Can't wait to hear what you think. The law of reciprocity is universal law. When somebody does something for you, you immediately feel like you want to do something back for them. Immediately. It's just how things work. And so if you're always giving to someone and you're showing up for them consistently, there is going to be a day when they reach out to you or when you reach out to them or you have some kind of connection with them when they're like, oh my gosh, you have helped me so much. Can I please do something for you? And then you can create a relationship. Then you can ask for something that you need.
What if today was the day that you dared yourself to do what you've always wanted? Welcome to the I Dare You podcast. I'm your host, Jen Gottlieb, and together we're going to step outside of our comfort zones and into our best lives, one dare at a time. So come on, I dare you to dive right on in.
Today, there were so many different things that, we could dive into today. What I wanted to talk about actually is quite strategic. It's not a mindset conversation. Maybe it is, take it or leave it if it might be for you. Most of you, from the people that I've met, are on some kind of a journey, whether that be an entrepreneurial journey or a be seen journey where you're building a brand and you want to be visible and you have a message or a service or a story or a product that you want to get out into the world. And that involves connecting with people. My company is called Super Connector Media, and we are the biggest believers in relationships. I would tell you with 100% certainty that all of the opportunities that I've ever gotten in my life have always stemmed from some form of connection and some person or human being. And so connections and networking is one of the most important things that you can do for your business and for your life, right? It's always about people. It's always about relationships, and relationships are what make life so much more fulfilling. And one of the most popular questions that I get is often like, how do I connect with influencers? How do I make connections with people that have a big audience or people that I really want to know or a mentor that I really want to have? How do I connect with the unconnectable? People like that I really have always dreamt of meeting and I really want to be their friend or I want to connect with them for some specific reason. How do I do that? I talk about that in the book in detail, step-by-step processes to networking and connecting with people and making win-win relationships. There's 4 things that I've been seeing lately a lot in the DMs that people do that I think is like cringe-worthy things that I don't want you to do when you're networking. Just don't do them. I'm all about DMing people and using social media and creating relationships online. I think it's so powerful. I've created a lot of relationships on Instagram, but it wasn't from cold DMing people and it wasn't from doing these 4 things. Now, let me tell you, like, if you're doing these things, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You probably just don't know, which is why I felt like I had to come on here and tell you guys, please stop doing these things. Because if you do these things, the person that you're trying to connect with is not going to respond to you. They're just not, or for the most part. Most of the people that I know are not going to respond to you. You've got a much, much, much better chance if you do the things that I'm going to tell you after what not to do. So listen to the things that you should not be doing when you're trying to make a relationship with somebody new. specifically on the internet, specifically in DMs. Okay. Number one, if you're reaching out to somebody for the very first time and you've never spoken to them before in your life, please, please, please do not send them a voice memo. Please, please. So I know a lot of you think that sending a voice memo for your first connection with somebody that you want to connect with is like a good thing. You want them to hear your voice. You want them to hear your tone. And that's all. I know that it comes from a good place, but strategically, it's not a good idea. It's actually just not smart at all if you want them to actually hear your message. Because if I see a message come in and I don't know the person and it's a voice memo, first of all, a voice memo, me listening to a voice memo is actually a job for me. It's a job because I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to be in a place where I can listen to it. I have to press play and I have to sit there and I have to listen to it. And then I have to remember what it says in order to respond. I can't just pop back in and see it and then respond and remember what it said. I have to respond in the moment. So if I see a voice memo, especially from someone I don't know, number one, I'm not going to want to listen to it because I don't know who the hell the person is. So I don't know what it's regarding. And it's a job for me to respond to a voice memo. So I'm also probably, if I'm going to respond to it, I'll look at it and I'll say, I'll respond to this when I can actually listen to it. And you know what usually happens? People that get a lot of DMs, and even people in general, the DMs get full and then, or they forget that was sitting there. And it's very easy to forget that voice memo is there and you need to listen to it. So I would say 99.9% of the voice memos that come into my inbox that are from somebody that I've never spoken to before, they go unanswered and they go unlistened to because it's not a priority for me to sit and spend my time listening to a voice memo from somebody that I don't know. So here's my suggestion to you. So I'm going to tell you what not to do, and then I'm going to follow up with what you should do. All right. So do not send a voice memo as your first connection with somebody that you don't know, or they're probably not going to respond. Okay. And this is an outreach. This isn't in response. If somebody reaches out to you and you want to respond with a voice note, I think that that's quite all right. But if you have no idea who the person is, and let's say you want to make a connection with them, let's say it's somebody that you really admire and you want to let them know you admire them and you'd love to work with them in some capacity, and you send them a note, don't let it be a voice note. Send a message that they can read. Okay. Because they're not going to listen to it. Most likely. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm not going to listen to it because it's a job. And if I don't know you, why would I spend the time to listen to it? But if you write something, then I'm going to read it and I'm going to see what you're about and I'm going to see what you're asking me. And then I'm probably going to respond because I can see it really quickly and I can get back to the message. And then later on, when I'm looking at my DMs, I can look at it quickly and be like, oh yeah, I remember that that's what this person wanted to talk to me about. Okay. So please, 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 please don't send a voice note. Second thing, do not send a video message if you don't know the person. That's another one. It's same as number one. So same as don't send a voice note. If you don't know someone and you've never connected with them before, I know your heart's in the right place. But here's the thing about voice notes and videos. It's easier for you. It's not necessarily easier for the person that's listening to it. So on my team, we have a rule that with my team members, we use Voxer to communicate, but they send me written word and I send them voice notes because it's easier for me to send a voice note, but it's harder for me to listen to voice. It's easier for me to read. So if you want to make your outreach as easy as possible to the person for them to respond, because if you're trying to connect with somebody that you really want to build a relationship with, you want to make that connection or that conversation as easy as possible for that person to respond, to communicate with you. So if you send a voice note or a video, you're already making it more difficult for them. It takes more time, energy, and effort to press play on a video and sit there and watch the whole thing and wait for it to play and then remember what it said in order to respond than it does to just see the written word. So if I don't know you and you're sending me a video, I'm not going to watch it for a few reasons. Number one, I don't know you, and I have been spammed videos before where I've watched them and it was something I did not want to see. And number two, it's hard for me to do. So in order for me to watch that video, I have to find a place where it's quiet. I have to make sure that I'm not in a meeting or around people. And then I have to press play and then I have to take notes on what the person said so I can remember the video and respond. It's a hell of a lot harder for me to respond to you or for anybody to respond if you send a video note or a voice note. So when you're reaching out to somebody for the first time, please send written word. Okay. Next thing that people are doing in the DMs that is going to hurt their chances in somebody that they want to connect with, like actually responding to them, is I know you guys use this tactic as like a tactic to get someone to respond, but I don't like it. People say, hey, and then they don't say anything else. Like, hey, and the little hand waving emoji, hey, great, hey, I think that people think like, oh yeah, if I say, hey, people are going to be curious and they're going to be like, oh, hey, what's up? And then you have an in to say what you want to say. But saying, hey, gives me nothing to go off of. And it's just kind of creepy and weird if I've never spoken to you before in my life. So that's not the way to do it either. However, on the response, you can send a voice note and a video. Just remember that they might not get back to you right away because it's much harder to listen to a voice note or watch a video than it is to read written word. And they need to actually take time to do that. So me and my friends often send voice notes to each other, but we don't get back to each other immediately. We get back to each other days later because we listen to our voice notes when we're not busy, when we're on a walk, or when we're not around people. So if you do send a video or a voice note to someone, please keep in mind that they might not respond right away because it's going to take them some time to watch it and listen to it and digest it and then respond. And then it takes them time. It's a whole to do. So if you want someone to get back to you fast and you're like me and you're a quick start and you like immediate confirmation, send written word. And then the last thing is please, please, please remove this sentence from your vocabulary forever and ever and ever and ever. Do not ever say, can I pick your brain? I would like to pick your brain. Can I pick your brain? Please, please. Okay. That is saying, can I pick your brain? It just feels very invasive. It feels like a take. It doesn't feel like a give. It doesn't feel like a win-win. It doesn't feel like if someone asks me, this is me personally, this is my opinion. If someone asks me, can I pick your brain? I run away very, very far. Like, I'm like, nope, this is not like, because here, okay, so I've told you the 4 things not to do, and I'm going to tell you the things that you can do instead, because I don't just want to leave you with like what not to do and not tell you what you should do and what the best way is to connect with somebody online and create a relationship with them in the DMs. So let's repeat it one more time. Don't send a voice note if you've never spoken to the person before, or they probably won't answer. Don't send a video note if you're just connecting with someone for the first time. They probably won't watch it and then they won't answer. Number 3, don't just say hey with no context, thinking that they're going to be like, oh, I'm curious. Hey, they don't know you. There's no reason for them to be curious about that. And number 4, please don't ever say, can I pick your brain? Okay, now here are the things that you should do when you're connecting with somebody new online. Always think of it as a give. Okay. So I have a rule with myself, and I would never cold outreach anybody if I haven't provided some value in some way, shape, or form for a while before I actually reach out. And value can be in so many different ways. I want you to always be figuring out how you can provide value to the people that you want to connect with and build a relationship with. How can you provide value? And you might not even know the person, but here's the thing. Everybody needs help with something. Everybody, even the most famous people in the entire world, everybody needs help with something. Actors, movie stars, celebrities, you know what they need help with? They want people to promote their movies. Any kind of social media influencer or anybody online that's creating content, they want people to like their content. They want people to comment on their content. They want people to share it. They want people to, if someone has a podcast, they need reviews. If someone has a book, they want people to buy their book. They want people to share their book. They want people to they want reviews on Amazon. There's so many ways to provide value to people without actually asking them what they need help with and without actually knowing them. And there's so many people even here right now that I personally know only because they've shown up for me in such a big way and provided value without me asking. I could name a whole bunch of them right now, and I know them and I would do anything for them. And we're very connected, and I'll answer their DMs. And not because they cold DM'd me and sent me a voice note or a video note or said, hey, it was because they consistently provided value and showed up for me for a really long time before ever asking for anything. Many of them still haven't asked for a single thing. But you know what? If they did, I would be more than happy to show up for them if it was in alignment for me, because they've done so much and they've provided so much value. So instead of thinking about what can I get from these people, I want to get something from them. They need to answer my DM. I'm gonna bombard them with a voice note or a video and hope that they take the time to watch it and then give me the thing that I want. Oh my goodness, that is the opposite of what you should be doing if you want to connect with people. Give, give, give. Think about how you can provide value, because there's this thing called the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is universal law. When somebody does something for you, you immediately feel like you want to do something back for them. Immediately. It's just how things work. And so if you're always giving to someone and you're showing up for them consistently, there is going to be a day when they reach out to you, or when you reach out to them, or you have some kind of connection with them, when they're like, oh my gosh, you have helped me so much. Can I please do something for you? And then you can create a relationship. Then you can ask for something that you need. But if you don't know someone and you want to build a relationship with them, don't ask them to pick their brain. Don't ask for free information. That's basically devaluing their time. Show up and give them value. Show up for them. I would say, wouldn't you agree if you're sitting and you're listening, like if somebody showed up for you and was consistently giving you value and like thinking about you, maybe you just had something happen in your life and they sent you a gift, or they sent you a really cool article that they knew you would like, or they commented on one of your posts and shared it with their community, or they left you an amazing review on Apple iTunes on your podcast, screenshotted it and sent it to you and said, look, I gave you an amazing review. Wouldn't that make you feel great? Wouldn't you want to help that person? So instead of thinking about taking when you're going into people's DMs and asking them for things, make sure that you're providing value for a long time before you do that. And then you can send a DM and provide value with your DM. Okay, provide value. The first DM that I would send to somebody would be something very, very just, if I wanted to connect with someone, I'm really trying to think about this in real time, that I didn't know, and it was someone that I wanted to build a relationship with, I would probably find something specific about that person that like I really loved. Maybe it was a post that they wrote. Maybe it was an article that they did or a podcast that they were on, and something specific that they said that resonated with me. And I'd probably send them a note saying, you know, I just listened to the podcast that you were on with so-and-so, and you said this one thing that resonated with me. Thank you so much. Also noticed that you live in Dallas. I'm just giving an example. My favorite restaurant is blah, blah, blah. And if you ever want to go, I'd be happy to get you a reservation because I know the owner or something. So did you notice how that was all value? And I wouldn't even ask for anything. I would just provide value. I would do it written. And that's it. And if they respond, amazing. And if they don't, I would still keep providing value. I would still keep commenting on their posts. I would still keep sharing their stuff. Many of you know, resonated with a post that I did recently where I spend 15 minutes a day just providing value to people that I want to connect with online. And that means like 15 minutes commenting thoughtfully on people's posts, sharing their content, so that I'm building relationship capital. Instead of take, think about give. And when you focus on giving, there's this great thing called the law of polarity. For every up, there is a down. For every left, there is a right there. It's like basically the law of opposites. So as much as you give, you're going to get. It's just, it might not come back directly from that person, but I believe in karma and I believe in energy and the law of the universe. And when you give, you will get, you will receive in some way, shape, or form if you spend the majority of your day giving. It's just how it works.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the I Dare You podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me, but I'm even more grateful for your future self that you are building one dare at a time. So my first dare for you is to subscribe to the show and then share it with a friend who you think needs to step a little bit more outside their comfort zone and into their best lives. They'll thank you for it. I'll see you next time on the I Dare You podcast.